Hello, kiddies! I have a story for you. A Halloween story. One that I think you are going to like. It's called The Black Velvet Ribbon. One day a handsome young man met a beautiful young woman at the Christmas dance held every year in their neighbor's barn. They danced and danced, and by the end of the night they were in love. Later that same week, the young man asked the young woman's father for her hand in marriage, and he consented. Come the spring, they would marry. And come the spring did, with the rivers and streams roaring with water from all the melted snow, birds twittering about and arcing through the air, and green filling the leaves and the grass alike. The wedding was a grand affair, and all of the village attended. That night, in the quiet and dark of their honeymoon chambers, the young man looked on in awe as his new bride disrobed and turned her naked body towards him. He had never in his life seen a vision so beautiful. But he noticed something odd. A black velvet ribbon was fastened around his bride's slender neck. "My darling," the young man said, "if you are to be naked before me, as like the day you were born, why not take off your ribbon as well?" "You will be sorry if I do, so I won't," was her only and quiet reply. Time passed, and as it did, the love between the new husband and wife deepened and grew. But the husband noticed that his wife never took off the ribbon, not even to bathe. It began to bother him more and more. One afternoon, after chopping wood, the husband strode into their newly built barn where his wife was collecting eggs. "My darling, won't you take off that ribbon? It can't be healthy to wear it all the time, can it?" "You will be sorry if I do, so I won't," was his wife's quiet and only reply. Weeks turned to months, and the months turned to a year. The husband loved his wife dearly, but it was beginning to madden him that his wife would never take off her ribbon. It was also becoming embarrassing, as some neighbors had mentioned it to him with an air of mockery. One night, after supper, he turned to his wife and, in a stern voice, said, "Woman, I am your husband, and you will obey me. Now I command you to remove that ribbon." But as always, her quiet and only reply was, "You'll be sorry if I do, so I won't." The husband became furious. "How dare she?" he thought to himself. Enraged, he took up his cloak and stomped outside, casting one last glance at his wife's sad face. He walked in the woods for several hours, collecting his thoughts and reining in his temper. His anger slowly turned to fear that perhaps his wife was mad, and if she was, how could they have children? What was he to do? And all at once an idea came to him. He smiled broadly to himself, turned, and walked back to his cottage. There he found his wife asleep in their bed. He crept to her vanity and took up her sewing scissors. Then he walked quietly to her bedside, gently placed the ribbon between the blades of the scissors, and snip! Off came the velvet ribbon. And then snap! Off came her head. It rolled off the bed and across the floor, wailing tearfully, "I told you you'd be sorry." Happy Halloween!